Myself, architect Vojesh Pahawa, and this is my second cycle of individual studio carrying out ideas. So, our studio is basically oriented towards planning and organization, and it's called as Studio Tax. So, in a larger picture, it is a part of a narratives in architecture ka cycle. I say it narratives in architecture because I want students to learn and understand how a piece of writing influences their design or guides them for their design. So it's basically that. This time it's too much fun because we are experimenting a lot on models. We are making models as a part of process of the design. So my studio teaches you very intensely that process is important. Process is important. Process is important. So approach of my studio is very pragmatic. So when I say pragmatic, it's not only practical. So it's practical yet creative. It's practical yet innovative. It's practical yet involving an ideology towards your design. Uh, there's this quote by Hassan Fateh which I like very much. He says that engineering, architecture would be a mere engineering without philosophy. So it's the same logic. You use philosophy, but you devise an engineering which is very functional yet pleasing to your eye, your mind, your experience, things like that. If humorously I have to put it, how it is different, it's 10 times intense than any other studio. Yeah, it's actually very intense. You cannot skip the studio even for a one day. So 100% in attendance is very important. Humorously in that way. In real sense, studio is different because it teaches you process of the design, which nobody otherwise talks about. The process for the design is important. So I'm not here in ideas to teach how do you design. I'm here to teach you that how you adapt the process for the design. So idea is कि we do 3 cycles for with the same approach. So interestingly, I'll tell you the approach of the studio in a short. कि we follow a process where I teach them from basics to advanced. For example, first activity we do is called as know your basics, where they are taught कि design के principles क्या होते हैं, प्लानिंग के प्रिंसिपल्स क्या होते हैं, बिकॉज दे आर अदरवाइज ओवरलुक्ड. कोई बात नहीं करता है प्रिंसिपल्स क्या है डिजाइन के. फर्स्ट प्रोसेस वो है. सेकंड, नाउ व्हेन यू हैव नोन द बेसिक्स ऑफ योर डिजाइन यू हैव टू पुट दैट इनटू प्रैक्टिस. तो सेकंड एक्टिविटी इज कॉल्ड एज पुट इनटू प्रैक्टिस, वेयर यू हैव टू प्ले विद मासेस एंड सेलेक्ट थ्री डिजाइन एंड प्लानिंग प्रिंसिपल्स. उससे बहुत अच्छे आउटकम्स निकलने हैं. सो ये बहुत प्रोसेस ड्रिवन स्पेसिफिक है, बट लास्ट स्टूडियो के आउटकम्स आप देखोगे दे आर वेरी डिफरेंट. दिस टाइम इट्स वेरी डिफरेंट. थर्ड साइकिल विल बी फॉलोइंग द सेम प्रोसेस. But so actually I'll tell you how it started. It started with my basic understanding of architecture as a gamut of 3 consecutive circles, where I say first circle of influence is of user or people, which is a part of a context at a higher picture, which is a part of a culture. Yeah, it starts with that understanding. So last studio focused on user, very specific kids. तो हमने पचदार में एक learning center design किया which was very much focused on user. This time it's about context. It's about site specific. So this time it's the Auroville Community School, where you need to understand sensitivity of Auroville में क्या हो रहा है, वहाँ के material, वहाँ के लोग, वहाँ का architecture, how it is different from other, their detailing, things like that. Next time it will be focusing on a culture on a bigger picture. So एक same process से how do you induce and produce 3 different outcomes is the crux of the studio. So yeah, it's that.